And as for gods, we see that Chaos is Thor, PokerStar Zeus, and the third from Dots, Thomas Shelby is Ra, and against them we have Magic Oranos, Titu Oranos, and Raccoon Zeus. So that's going to be quite interesting matchup. And having a look at the first player at the bottom, that's from .c, Thomas Shelby, the Ra of Deities of Death, and well, he just now discovers the very nice starting hand that is usual. His back TC is very close, and it seems to be in a reasonable position, and if you look at the minimap, you can see that he's also the pocket, which is kind of sweet to have an Aggie as a pocket, and the other guys that have the more aggressive sieves to be on the sides. So the first from the aggressive ones is Thor. Chaos is back on the left, who has already cast his Dwarven Goldmine, is gathering from his starting hand, and otherwise, well, back TC is safe as it gets. And well, has he discovered some other hand? Yes, he did. He has, and this is his second hand together with some nice gold. And I'm thinking, as this map usually goes, this water should probably go all the way to the border in there. So we'll see probably soon enough, I guess. Other than that, though, he's having a pretty nice choke point in here. It's going to be very easy to wall, although he might not want to actually do that because this TC seems to be his. Looking at the map, that's definitely his third, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but at the same time, it's right between him and Magic, so it's not all that bad. And yes, unfortunately, it's stream on, so just to save some bandwidth and have a lagless game, he's going to switch it off. The first relic has been discovered here, and that's cheaper wall and gate costs. That could be, well, useful for literally anyone, as we usually see some walls in team games like these. And the third player to have a look at right now is PokerStar, the Zeus that was doing pretty well in game number 1. Gather him from his starting hand, of course, and otherwise, well, his front TC is in a yeah, that's pretty much a reasonable position. That's not bad, it's not far away or anything. And you can see that in the forefront, that's a very nice hunt. And he might be interested in going for it, but if he does, he will be discovered by Titu, and Titu will know where to go then. So, yeah, if he decides to go for it, it's not going to be without risk. But he doesn't really need to, because he has very nice hunt at the back, and together with that, a double of hippos and a relic, which is +6 unit line of sight, which is going to be pretty excellent for raiding. And since he's playing Zeus, we might see some centaurs again, and they will be very good scouts and very good at raiding willies with the extra line of sight. Otherwise, switching into the ReGen team, the first one is Titu, who is scouting all around him and around PokerStar, and his 30C is occasionally placed as well. It's kind of aggressive position compared to this other TC from PokerStar, so yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the battle between these two players is actually going to develop. In his base, we see the standard hunt, not really anything extra special, a Rhino. That's a nice one. Beside his back TC, together with some cranes, and what's this relic? Oh, favorite trickle. Well, that's not half bad, especially for a netty that could help him. Could help him quite nicely, and right now he's discovering that there's nothing interesting at the back at all, just a bit of extra hunt on the right of his base. The pocket for ReGen is Raccoon, that's the new player who is playing Zeus, so Zeus pocket is pretty nice and quite potentially could allow him some faster mythic. That's usually what pockets play in team games, and gathering from the start in hand still, or not. No, that's already the second hand, which is very nicely positioned, I have to say, but otherwise I don't really see something extra in the back. So, well, that's a bit disappointing for him, I would say, and he will have to go somewhere forward, possibly into this 5 spot of hippos. That's reasonably safe because it's easy to wall. It should be possible to wall here, and yeah, that could be it. The last one to have a look at is Magic, who is playing the Oranos here, and he's already clicked in to Prometheus as we are at 3:30, which is the standard time to advance. And his map is, yeah, kind of okay as the rest. A very nice hippos between him and Raccoon as well. So they are up for taking, and a very nice, I don't know, flock of cranes. Yeah, flock, that's actually the right word for birds. On the left, something interesting, well, very nice gazelles, so it's going to be useful for him. And well, looking at the other TCs, this is his third. That's kind of occasionally positioned, so I'm thinking this will be a very crucial TC for the rest of the battles here. That's going to be really interesting to actually deal with. You can see that right inside Thomas Shelby's base, there is Chaos' back, and it almost seems like we will be seeing some shift in sands. We are going through Ptach, of course, and this really does look like some shenanigans. I like that. You can see that he's fast up, the first one of all them all. The first of them all, sorry. And this could really be some surprise here. Scout from PokerStar is going into Titus' base, it seems. So he might be the one actually looking for the correct position to cast it. So let's see how that's going to actually happen. Right now I'm really curious what this is all about. I'm really thinking this is going to result in some shift in sands. Yeah, Willies are moving in. So yeah, this is going to be shift in sands and it's going to be into Titu. So that's going to be very fast and very interesting attack indeed. So yeah, here we are. So that's basically TC down. Just a moment after it was actually killed. And restoration cast and Thomas Shelby on top of it. Well, so that they can't actually cast some ceasefire from Raccoon. That's very nicely played. Very nicely played. And this might be even faster game that we all expected. So of course this basically puts Titu out of the game altogether, as he will be, well, in an absolutely horrible position. Right now he's trying to run with his Phillies and build a manor to actually protect them, which he will be able to, but will it be enough? Well, let's see. Thomas Shelby will be at 2 TCs very safely. Very safely, and right now Chaos' back will have actually to retreat into his home base and defend against magic, because you can see there's a whole lot of oracles actually scouting around, so have a pretty nice outlook of what's happening in there, and well, that's that. And right now we can see that Chaos' back is unfortunately 42, fighting his extra Vs who are trying to rebuild the TC, and right now ceasefire is finally cast, and it means that the TC 42 will be up and well, reasonably safe. Although this is a pretty nice response from Chaos, because it means that the help will be very limited to Titu, and he'll be having yeah, all kinds of troubles, because he will be closed in, and if he finishes the wall here as well, interesting situation indeed. Right now, Thomas shall be just making his home at Titu's home, stealing his gold as much as he can, and yeah, he's just going to take over everything that is left here. The pigs, literally everything. Something else, well, it seems like PokerStar is just joining the fun here with some hoplites, and is he having some extra buildings somewhere? He's having everything in a, well, very far away from himself, probably in a position to defend his teammates if he needs to, but right now decides that he doesn't, and he's just going for extra attack for hoplites. That means that you can probably expect some further siege, as you don't really build hoplites for anything else, just take down buildings in such special strategies like this. Well, let's see if that will really be the case. And yeah, you can see that's exactly what is happening. PokerStars, extra hoplites, and Minotaur just going for the second TC that Titu has just built. And since he's unable to actually receive any help from his allies due to all this nicely positioned walling, they might just be able to kill it soon enough before the extra help arrives. And yeah, that's just so many resources down for Titu that he'll be, well, falling far behind his allies and even opponents. So even though the TC will go down, it won't probably be before Magic is in with all his army and is able to actually kill the rest of the units, although I'm not exactly sure about that, because Chaos is having a lot of Hersirs, and yeah, of course it's going to be the death of the Prometheans very soon. And well, I'm kinda thinking Titu is not having a very nice game here. It really reminds me of last season, where he was pretty nicely surprised by PK and put out of the game in a similar fashion, even faster. And well, those videos are, well, they are really courageous. Just at the forefront of the fight, still gathering food. I would be already moving them somewhere else, but it seems like They are trusting that Magic can stop this attack, but looking at these units, he definitely cannot. And Magic is going to get killed with absolutely everything, because those hoplites from PokerStar, together with the extra Hersirs and Raiding Cavalry from Chaos's back, is just what it takes to kill anything in their path. And, well, Thomas Shelby is right now using the only army on pretty much the most, well, the cheapest that he can right now afford, and that's priests, and that's exactly what they need, because it's the siege, or rather artillery, that they don't have, because they have just infantry in those hoplites and Hersirs, and this is exactly the right thing to supplement the heavy infantry attack. So right now all the attack is switching into Green's base, which is very dangerous for him. Even though he's at 2 TCs, this is not going to be a very nice game for him either, because this army is very strong, and how's looking with some god powers. Not really anything interesting that we would have to remember for use, and yeah, those hoplites are so super strong right now. So super strong. I'm kinda thinking that DC won't be staying for long either, because Raccoon is very slow to actually build some of his army. He wasn't really counting with such an early attack. He was hoping to be the pocket and boom up. So yeah, the switch is slower, which is expected. And well, right now I'm kinda thinking it will be up to Magic to conjure some magic, because otherwise Dots might just as well finish their game here. Somewhere else on the map, when you look at the minimap, not really anything interesting is happening, so this is pretty much where all the action is going. Magic is right now at 2 TCs, as he's taken his back one. And well, this is just a raiding party for the TC, yeah. Just trying to put Raccoon out of his position and kill whatever he has left of his right now untouched economy, which won't be untouched for much longer. So pretty nice job with those hoplites, and in the base, where is his main? Well, it seems like iMagic is establishing some kind of position due to the extra tower fire and TC fire with this Turmas. As when the hoplites are gone, the rest of the red army together with yellow is not all that strong, and he can somehow defend it. But, well, it's just right now up to PokerStar to choose his battles wisely and kill as many units or buildings as he can. Some nice raiding cavalry is not really doing anything, so come on, join blue. Join blue somewhere in the fun. Because right now it's all about the extra pressure, and if you just let on for a moment, it might be the end of your extra abilities that you gain through the early attack. Right now you can see that PokerStar is building some forward base so that he doesn't have that far to go with its units, and it seems like the game is heading into a bit of a respite because the steam has run out of Dot's attack, and right now they are just concentrating on some raiding, but they don't really have enough units to push for another TC down, and that means that we might be seeing some resurgence of ReGens pretty soon, because iMagic is their strongest player and he was not touched at all. And that might be a bit of a problem, because right now this early attack obviously cost a lot of resources and a lot of strength, the Dot's team, and if they can't finish properly, it might backfire on them pretty badly. Right now though, it seems like they are playing this very well, and they have prepared, or have they? I see some purple blobs in Chaos's base, who has just built second TC and is building third. That is actually Titus, and well, he's having a very nice army, and he is catching Chaos's back out of position, and this is going to hurt quite a lot. This is going to hurt him very much, because those Wolfies are not really cheap, and this is going to be a very decent downtime in gold gathering. Oh wow, very good job, and got from both sides. 3 sides, of course. Oh, total annihilation right there. Total annihilation right there, and I'm just wondering if at least one Willy is going to survive. Right now I would think that this one might. That? Ah yeah, 2 Willys survived out of like, I don't know, that was maybe 15? 12 to 15 or something like that. So that was very, very huge hit. And Magic is stealing his third, but he is not aware that actually his third has been stolen by Chaos's back, who is right now at 4 TCs. But I'm a bit afraid he might be slightly overstretching himself because it's very early in the game. And since his villagers have been now killed, he might not have enough resources to actually manage all those TCs to use them for extra villager production. And yeah, he better be careful with what he does there. T2 is right now camped in Raccoon's base and is trying to take a forward TC, which unfortunately for him has been discovered again. And well, Thomas Shelby together with a bit of Chaos's back has been stopping him all game long, and they are just not going to give up. And something interesting is happening in the right side here, and that's very neat indeed from T2, who has been put out of the game pretty much altogether, but he is not giving up at all, and he's trying to do at least the small things here, and this is a very good idea, as it will keep a Poker Star from this TC if he actually manages to keep his water presence here, T2. On the left right now, Raccoon has been able to amass some kind of army together with Time Magic, and it will result in Chaos's back closing this TC, because I don't see any army from red. Well, yeah, that's just a few Heresiers, and here some raiding cavalry, not really all that much. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it, and some more extra effective raiding from Magic is here, and well, he's not really worried that this scout is going to die, or Oracle, but it was well worth it, because he was already killed some extra villies. Some forward base is being built by Magic, and I'm curious if he's maybe advancing into Heroic, because he might be interested in that. Ah, he already is, yeah, that's why. And I thought that that might be the case, and he just deleted Chaos's back TC, who is down to 3. And right now he will be under heavy fire and heavy attack from my Magic. And he doesn't have really enough army right now. And if he is surprised here again, he should already be running with those villagers, because this battle is going to ensue. And yes, right now he finally is. Yeah, it seems like he is. And yeah, he really needs to retreat, and there's no safe spot for his food or gold gathering anymore. So this is a pretty nice army from ReGens right now, and they are having Heroic Age through Apollo, and they are 2 guys in Heroic and then none for dots. So yeah, their all-in strategy was going very nicely, but right now it's on the verge of actually backfiring on them, and it will remain to be seen if Magic can somehow punish them together with the help of his teammate Raccoon. So Tito is still attempting to take his first TC again, right now being helped by Raccoon with some extra army and some army of his own. So right now he might actually succeed. And how's it looking, for example, here? Well, Thomas Shelby is having a pretty nice array of units, rather units, villagers, and working force here, and it's kind of dangerous that he's not deleted this manner, because it tells ReGen's team that there's a lot of echo here, and most probably undefended. So if they decide to go for some raid, this will be very interesting to go for. The TC, I think this is going to be reasonably safely built, so that's okay. And he's already built another TC, and that's due to this little thingy, yeah, transport ship from T2, and he's stealing PokerStar's 3rd TC, because PokerStar is not paying attention at all, and he's not expecting anything like that. T2 is also going with some extra army for some raiding. So they are definitely ReGens taking fight to dots right now. PokerStar is the victim right now. And, well, you won't be getting gold here anymore. That's a pretty decent army. Tomas will be advancing into Hearthroad. That's another important point right now. And, well, will it be enough? Because right now this army is very strong. I'm thinking this TC won't be staying for much longer. And the villies that are going to hide in there, well, maybe not either, because right now all 3 ReGens armies are here in the attack. Interesting. On the left, we see that the Migdol is being built kind of offensively for Thomas Shelby, and well, he's opting for this position, but it might not be enough, because Thomas Shelby is already having quite a decent amount of units or other buildings here, and is having also his fortress for the Petroboli. So let's see if that will be enough to stop the attack that's ensuing from the Ra. In the base of PokerStar, all the interesting things are happening, and they are resigning because right now they are recognizing that actually their initial plan hasn't worked out, as Magic has worked this magic and won the 2nd game. So That was a very, very interesting one. And even though Titu was really on the short end of the stick again, he wasn't giving up at all. And this is a very nice play that just contributed to the overall GG of Dots. So that was a very exciting and interesting gameplay. And nicely played by ReGen in the end. GG. So let's have a look at the post games here. Yeah, Magic, most definitely. He wasn't touched at all, so that's what you would expect. And yeah, Beastly Echo, untouched altogether. But pretty decent play here by Kelsey's back and his army. 74 kills, so that was a very nice one. And yeah, the mythics. That's also what was the reason for actually resigning. Nicely played. GG.